نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My respected elders, young brothers, my mothers and sisters, this is the Q&A session, a weekly session. Brothers and sisters who put forward questions, and we try our best to answer these questions in the light of Quran and Hadith. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this effort and make it a means of our forgiveness. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq that we learn our deen and then we bring it into our practice. Today's questions aren't much, there are just few. One of the question is, are women allowed to stand for election in Muslim countries? Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he learnt that the Persian people have made their Kisra's daughter. In those days, the Persian king was given the title of Kisra, and the Roman kings were known as Caesar. So when Prophet ﷺ came to know that the Persians have made their king's daughter as a queen, so then Prophet ﷺ, he said this hadith, لَنْ يُفْلِحَ قَوْمٌ وَلَّوْ أَمْرَهُمْ إِمْرَأَةً. That is, those people never prosper, never succeed, who will give control of authority to their women. Because of this hadith, the ulama ikram, muftiyan ikram, they are agreed that no woman is allowed to take the control of government, to become a prime minister. She is not allowed, as she is not allowed to do the imamat in the prayer, she is also not allowed for the imamatul kubra, the greater imamat, to lead the people, to become a queen, to become prime minister. This is not allowed for a woman, according to the light of Quran, the Hadith. And the Bilqis, who was a queen, the days of Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, Mufti Shafi rahmatullah alayhi writes that it is not proven that when she became Muslim and Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam let her stay as a queen. It is not proven from the ahadith. So according to this hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the hadith I've just read, it is a hadith narrated by Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and it is a hadith of Sahih al-Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that very nation can never succeed who will hand over their matters of dunya to their women. So anyone who asks this question, this is the answer. According to the Sharia, a woman is not allowed to take the control of a government. How is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam related to Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam? In one hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, Ana dawatu Abi Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, which means Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying my birth and then my becoming a prophet, this is the result of my forefather Ibrahim's dua. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, he made a dua, Rabbana wab'as fihim rasulam minhum yatlu alayhim ayatik. That, oh Allah, you send a prophet among the Arabs, who will do the recitation, who will recite the Quran to them, your verses to them, and who will purify them. So Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam had a son Ishaq, and Ishaq's had a son Yaqub, and all the prophets of Banu Israel, they are from Ishaq alayhi salatu wasalam. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is from Hazrat Ismail, who was also Hazrat Ibrahim's son. In the Hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that from the children of Ismail, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Banu Kanana. And from Banu Kun'ana, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected Quraysh. And from Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Banu Hashim. And from Banu Hashim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose me. So Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, is one of the forefathers. When you look at the family tree of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will see Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam as a forefather of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please can you tell if borrowing government bounce back loan, if this is halal or not? This is a very new scheme. The government just launched this scheme in March when the COVID-19 all this started for the very small businesses. And this scheme is the government gives the loan, and for the first year there will be no interest. Then after a year, then one has to pay the interest. Now the question is this allowed? And the clear-cut answer is this is not allowed, because the interest is involved. Now if someone turns around and says, well, what if someone is able to pay in the first year the full amount, he can give the loan back. So still it is not allowed, because there is a condition in the scheme that after a year you have to pay the interest. So the ulama, they say this scheme itself is haram, it's not allowed, because the interest is involved. Even if somebody, and also we should keep this in mind, if this is the government has set up this scheme only for those who have very small businesses. Now, if someone wants to borrow this money, if he wants to choose this scheme, and he just wants to expand his business, he's not struggling, because the government launched this scheme just for the people who are struggling in this period of COVID-19. And if somebody wants to just to expand his business, so he can say, well, I can borrow the money, and then within a year, just before the year I will pay it. Still, it's not allowed, because the interest is involved. So the ulama, the muftiyan kiram, they say, so this scheme, it's not allowed, because the interest is there. The final question is, how many times do we need to do masa in wuzu? Well, the limbs which we wash in wudu, they are washed 3 times. And we do masa of our heads, and we do masa of the nape, the neck. Masa is only done once. And the aza, the limbs which are washed, they are washed 3 times. So masa will only be done once. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the true understanding of our deen, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our majlis. And we also thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this lockdown has come to an end, and today, alhamdulillah, we all managed to offer our prayers with congregation. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our sitting here. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Maulana Mohammed wa alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairu rahimin. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.